Hey everyone, hope you guys are all doing well and staying healthy. And if you're not, you've come to the right place because this is Healthzone with Gilbert Cheah. My name is Gilbert Cheah. I'm the editor of Healthzone Singapore, a Facebook page dedicated to health and wellness, specifically for Singapore and the region. So this week, I wanted to talk to you about something which is going to affect all of us, one way or the other, as we get older. Singapore has a rapidly aging population. Two things are happening in Singapore. One is that our birth rate is declining very sharply. We have the lowest birth rate in the world right now, and our lifespans are getting longer. So as we live longer and our birth rates drop, what happens to the population is that it starts to age more and more. And we will have more elderly than ever before. Today, there are over 600,000 people aged over 65. And in 10 years, we will have almost 2 million people aged over 65. So issues related to aging and an older population will affect all of us, either as we become senior citizens ourselves or we become caregivers for our loved ones who are seniors. And there are special risks that seniors face, which many times younger people, even family members, are not aware of or do not pay attention to until something happens. So this week, I wanted to examine one key issue facing seniors that accounts for many injuries, disabilities, and even deaths. And this is the danger of seniors falling down. It's not something that we think about very often, and sometimes people even come to the thought that this is inevitable, that as you get older, you're going to fall. Well, this is not true at all. Falls can be prevented, and you do not want to fall. You do not want a senior to fall. Falls can cause pain, disability, loss of independence, and premature death. In Singapore, about 1/3 of older people aged 60 and above have fallen more than once, and many of these falls lead to serious injuries, hospitalization, and deterioration. So that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to focus an episode about falls and to show you guys what you need to do to stop falls from happening or to minimize the risk of it, and to not think that it is inevitable at all. You know, aside from disease, falling is one of the most dangerous things that can happen to seniors. And falling is not something that most people think about. It's easy to overlook this as a possible danger, but the consequences can be so serious and debilitating that we really need to take precautions before something unfortunate happens. Now, there are two parts to preventing and minimizing the likelihood and impact of falls that seniors and their families should pay attention to. One is the senior's own personal strength and health condition, and the other are the environmental factors of their surroundings. Let's take the health factor first. There are many health-related reasons that can cause older people to fall. And different people have different health issues and therefore a different propensity to fall. So if you are a senior or you have a loved one who is, it's really important to understand what your unique health issues are. And here are some of the issues to watch out for and what you should do to address them. One of the most likely reasons that causes falls is actually medication side effects. And this causes an increased fall risk in older people, but most of us don't even think about this because we think that something our doctor gives us cannot be harmful and cannot possibly cause a fall. But there are actually many medications that can lead to increased risk of falling, and there are two types that you should pay special attention to. One, medications that affect blood pressure. These are drugs that can cause or worsen a sudden fall in blood pressure. A drop in blood pressure or having chronically low blood pressure can increase your fall risk, because what happens is something as simple as suddenly standing up after being seated or lying down can cause a drop in blood pressure when you stand up. And when your blood pressure drops, less blood can go to your organs and muscles and your brain and make it more likely for you to fall. There's actually a term for this. It's called postural hypotension. And medications for high blood pressure can cause or worsen this postural hypertension. So if you are on blood pressure medication, you must be very careful about this. Make sure you're not taking too much, because that can cause this problem when it actually lowers your blood pressure and then it causes you to fall. Next kind of medication to watch out for are medications that lower blood sugar. And this is especially important in Singapore because there are many diabetics in Singapore. We have the second highest diabetes rates in the developed world. And people with diabetes who take these medications may experience lightheadedness and dizziness if their blood sugar level drops too low. And people with diabetes are at a higher risk of falling, so they have to be especially careful about this. There are other medications that can affect balance, alertness, and coordination, which in turn increases the risk for falls. It's therefore important to ask your doctor whether any of the medications you are taking will increase your chance for falls. Now, another health factor aside from medication that can increase the risk of falls is if the person has balance problems. And this can happen from something as simple as having weak legs, joint pain, joint problems, or vertigo. Now, if you have any of these issues, your chances of falling are higher, so take precautions. For example, strengthen your leg muscles with resistance bands so that you will lower your chances of falling. This is very important. And doing exercise that can help develop balance is also very important. And one of the best ones you can do is Tai Chi. If you have joint conditions such as arthritis, please get the right pain medications. This will not only relieve your pain, but also reduce the inflammation that causes the pain. What happens very many times is that a senior person will think, it's all right, it's not that painful, I can take it, so they don't want to take the medication. And what happens is that when they stand up or they're walking and they suddenly get a pain or the pain affects them, they can weaken suddenly and fall. So on the days when your pain is worse, please don't walk or climb stairs. Rest at home because the dangers of you falling are greater when you have got pain. There are also medications for vertigo that you should be taking and to prevent you from having an attack. And stay in bed and don't try to walk on days when you are having bad vertigo. That's very important for seniors. Make sure that you use a walking stick or walker if you need to. Please do not let your pride stop you from using these walking aids. This can make all of the difference. The third kind of health problem that can affect people and cause them to fall more are vision problems. Make sure you get your eyes checked regularly and wear the right vision correction glasses. And older people with cataracts really need to get them treated and removed. Even a slight vision problem or distortion can cause an older person to misjudge their footing and fall, especially when they are getting up from a sitting or lying position. Now, aside from health and wellness issues that can cause falls, there are also environmental issues to watch out for, both in and out of our homes. So I'm going to talk about that next. Many seniors live in the same home as their younger family members, and the homes are designed for fit and mobile younger people. We take many things for granted in the home that can actually be very dangerous for seniors. If you're a senior or you live with one, it's so important that you do not take the environment in your home for granted. Just because you have always lived there and it's been okay in the past doesn't mean that it will continue to be safe for you as you age. Your home is not changing, but your body is, and you need to take the right steps to adapt the home to make it as safe as possible. Now, if you live in an HDB flat, there is a government program specifically designed to make your home safer for you. It's called the Enhancement for Active Seniors, or EASE, E-A-S-E, and they will actually come into your flat to retrofit it with safety features to make it more elder-friendly and to improve the mobility and comfort for elderly residents. And even better, the government subsidizes 95% of the cost. So this is a really important program to sign up for. After the subsidy, the flat owner will pay as little as $147 for a 3-room flat. The Ministry of Health also has a list of things to watch out for in any home to make it safer for seniors, and we have added more to that. So I'm going to go through a checklist of the things you need to watch out for. You can also find this guide online. We're going to put this on our Facebook page, Healthzone SG. So do look for it there. So please take a note of this. I'm going to go to the checklist right now. These are things which we take for granted that we don't pay attention to very often, but which can really be dangerous for seniors and can cause falls and have caused many falls before. So let's go through this quickly, and then you can take a look at this more in detail and go through your house and do a checklist of this. 1. Uneven, loose, and slippery surfaces. Be especially careful on tile floors, which can become very slippery when wet. Singaporeans love tile floors because they're nice and glossy and easy to clean, but they can get very slippery and dangerous even if it's a little bit wet. And especially with our wet and rainy weather, they get wet very often. So what can you do here? Get slip-resistant treatment applied to existing floor tiles. This is one of the things that they do in the EASE program, where they come apply a treatment to your floor so that it is no longer slippery even when it is wet. Please make sure you get this done. This is very important, especially if you've got tile floors. Next, number 2, unsecured carpets and rugs. You know, we love to put the rugs on the floor, but if they're not secured, meaning that you do not have a non-slip backing, it is all too easy for us to actually slip on this and fall, and this has happened many times to many seniors. And also, if you do have a rug that has got a non-slip back, make sure it's not worn out, because this can reduce the effectiveness of the non-slip surface and cause a fall. Number 3, loose electrical cords and wires. Coil or tape up all electrical cords and wires next to the wall so you don't trip over them. You know, we're so used to just seeing the wires on the floor, we don't pay attention to them until something happens. So you got to watch out for that, especially if you've got older people in the house. Number 4, inadequate lighting. Now remember that seniors have poorer eyesight and poorer light sensitivity, so they need all areas to be well lit. Now something as simple as having a lamp switch right next to the bed so that you don't even need to take one step in the darkness can make a big difference. Because what happens often is that the light switch is away from the bed, the senior turns off the light, has to walk to the bed and trips over something and falls. Or they have to get out in the middle of the night, they get out of bed and they have to walk towards the light switch. So please just put a lamp right next to the bed, make sure the switch is easily accessible. Or what you can do in addition to that is to install motion sensitive night lights throughout the house so that the moment someone gets up, it is lit up that way. And that's very important. Number 5, poor step and stairway design. Stairs are especially dangerous. Make sure they are good handrails and that you keep the handrails clean and non-slippery. One way to make steps safer is to get them carpeted, which will eliminate slipperiness and provide some padding as well in case someone does fall. Number 6, chairs and beds that are too high or too low. Again, something that we often overlook. This can make it very difficult for the person to get in and out and cause them to lose their balance. So watch out for chairs also that have got slippery legs. An elderly person trying to sit down can accidentally push the chair away from them and end up falling. Number 7, keep floors free of clutter and maintain clear paths for walking. Seniors have tripped over shoes, clothes, books, magazines, even pamphlets which are left carelessly on the floor. So watch out for that. Number 8, be especially careful about wet areas such as the kitchen and the bathroom. Place non-slip rugs outside of wet areas so that wet feet won't track water out, and place non-skid rubber tape on the floors of shower areas. And also make sure to install grab bars. This is not something that we think is necessary, but it is so important because if you have a grab bar there, it helps the senior in so many ways. Again, this is one of those things that they were installed as part of the EASE program, so do look out for that. Point number 9, watch out for footwear. Now, you know, a lot of people like to wear bedroom slippers, especially seniors, to keep their feet warm when they're indoors. Make sure that bedroom slippers are well fitted and that they have non-slip soles. This is so important. Check them regularly and replace any footwear when the sole starts to become smooth and lose grip. There have been cases of seniors in Singapore who have fallen because their bedroom slippers became slippery, even though it used to have a non-slip grip. After a while, they wear it, it's no longer non-slip, and they slip and they fall. Point number 10, use a shower chair so that the elder person does not have to stand for long to wash up. Again, this is something that we all take for granted because what happens is that we're so used to washing ourselves, we've been standing all our lives, but as we get older, we think our legs can hold up, and then in that wet environment, it's all too easy to lose your balance and slip and fall. So if you have got that kind of an issue, please get a shower chair, sit down in the shower, and relax and take a nice shower. You will really prevent falls that way. Point number 11, rearrange furniture to make clear paths for walking. That's very, very important. Again, we take that for granted because the furniture has always been arranged in the way that we want it to be arranged. But as we get older, or if we have a senior in the house, that furniture pathway becomes very important, the pathway between furnitures. Now, if you think that an elderly loved one is prone to falls or that you're concerned about them falling, there is this wonderful thing called a falls assessment clinic that you can find. These are clinics located at various hospitals across Singapore that will help to assess your own specific risks for all the different factors that can affect your risk of falling: balance, mobility, your strength, reaction time, and ability to use walking aids. So you go inside there and they will actually assess you for what are your chances of falling, and they will prescribe tailored exercise programs to identify your risk. It's so important to take a personalized approach to fall prevention because every person has their own unique factors that make them vulnerable, and these need to be identified so that the correct safeguards can be taken. Now, personalizing fall prevention is critical. For example, you don't want your mom to start spending a lot of time learning Tai Chi, for example, if her real personal risk for falls is something totally different. Maybe her blood pressure medications are too high or that she has poor eyesight. So it's very important to pay attention to the details and causes that can minimize the chances of falling, that can in turn prevent a lot of pain, injury, and deaths. And if you're not at an age that you need to worry about falls, it's important to prepare yourself by strengthening your leg muscles, improving your balance, and protecting your joints. The best time to prepare is when you're younger, so get yourself into the best possible shape now. We will have a link of comprehensive checklist of things to do and watch out for online at the Healthzone Singapore Facebook page to make your home safer. So that's it for this week. This is an issue which I think many people have not thought about, but because it causes so much pain and so much debilitation and injuries, it's become something that we really all need to start paying attention to. So go through that checklist, make sure that your home is safe for yourself if you're a senior or for your loved ones who are seniors there. That's it for this week. Thank you again for joining us. Watch out for more weeks when we're going to be covering more interesting health issues. Subscribe, like, comment, and let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about. That's it for now. Thank you.